default into other things. Welcome out to lunch. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I will be walking you through the next 2 hours. Don't forget that some of my friends will be taking over a few things here or there because Out to Lunch is a grab bag. It is hosted by one person. They usually take the brunt of it, but we jump in and kind of co-host throughout the episode. That is the way that Matt McNeil is going to be taking Out to Lunch. When it changes, we're putting Matt back in the middays, starting at 10, right? A menagerie. You're on 2. That's
the real menagerie, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we got to get away, if I may, just from the talking about the program schedule on air, though, because
well, we're promoting
too much.
Yeah. We're promoting. We got to promote the new schedule. We got to promote the new schedule because some people don't like where certain things are, so we got to give them their place.
For my ear, too much.
That's true.
Hearing too much about it.
Well, you are the station's #1 listener, so that could be why you hear it so often.
That's true.
Here on Out to Lunch today, Marky B will be jumping in, and he's got an interview coming through. Wonderful time to do it. Marky B is the guy who is on the air in the mornings right there, and we're going to bring him up into the week or the afternoons for it today. Some things here and there as we walk through. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up some of our news stories for the day there, Benjamin. It's a good day for news. It's a good day out here. It's not so much the weather, right? It's still a little rainy, still a little going through for it. But one of the biggest things is the that everyone's talking about right now are the Russian exchange.
Yes,
is what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, prisoner exchange.
The prisoner exchange, as it goes. I believe people are in the air, ready to go. Right now.
Yeah, it's one of those stories. I've been covering this kind of thing, or this story with Gershkovich for quite a while on News for You and stuff. And this was happening around the same time as when Brittany Griner was locked up.
That's true.
So
she got back quick.
Comparatively?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure. It might have been around the same time.
Well, I know Paul Whelan's been there for a while.
Since 2020.
Let's see here. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich freed in largest post-Soviet prisoner swap between the U.S. and Russia. The U.S. considers the Wall Street Journal reporter and Paul Whelan wrongfully detained in Russia on baseless espionage charges. The Wall Street Journal reporter was sentenced to 16 years in prison, while Whelan has been detained since 2018 with a 16-year sentence. You want to jump in on that microphone? No. Okay. So here on, we can go over to the Christian Science Monitor, has a great report about that. The United States and Russia have come to a deal, completing the biggest prisoner swap in post-Soviet history on August 1st. That's right. It's the first of the month as well. Wall Street Journal reporter who was arrested over a year ago is among those in the swap. United States and Russia, let's see here, going to keep repeating. Let's see here. The trade follows years of secretive back-channel negotiations, despite relations between Washington and Moscow being at their lowest point since the Cold War, after Russian President Vladimir Putin's February 22 invasion of Ukraine. Oh my gosh, it's been that long, Benjamin. Been that long, buddy.
Insane, yeah.
We're almost about ready to hit a year of Gaza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, and it's just very unnerving times when it comes to global things having escalated.
I think this deal helps, man. I think this helps bridge that gap a little bit more. The sprawling deal in the latest in a series of prisoner swaps negotiated between Russia and the U.S. in the past 2 years, but the first to require significant concessions from the other countries. So with Griner, it was really just a, hey, we've got a person, you got a person, let's go. This, I think, had some more concessions in it and had a lot more cyber criminals that we released from over here. Russia has secured the freedom of its nationals convicted of serious crimes in the West by trading them for journalists, dissidents, right? The person who descends is a dissident?
Dissident, right?
Dissident, yes, thank you. And other Westerners convicted and sentenced in a highly politicized legal system on charges the U.S. considers bogus. In a statement posted online, Radio Free Europe and Radio Liberty, President and CEO Stephen Kappas acknowledged media reports that a journalist working for the broadcaster Alsu Kurmashiva would be released as part of the deal. Mr. Kappas said the broadcaster welcomed the news of Alsu's imminent release and are grateful to the American government and all who worked tirelessly to end her unjust treatment by Russia. So she was also part of the exchange in there. December 22, a trade that brought WNBA star Brittany Griner back from the U.S. in exchange for a notorious arms trafficker, Victor Bout, and a swap earlier that year for a Marine veteran, Trevor Reed, for Konstantin Yarkoshenko, a Russian pilot convicted in a drug trafficking conspiracy. Hello. Thank you for your service, sir. President Joe Biden placed securing the release of Americans held wrongfully overseas at the top of his foreign policy agenda for the 6 months before he leaves office. So he wanted to get this as a lame duck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This isn't like... This would be a W or a pen in your cap that you put in and say, hey, see, vote for me. I get things done, right?
Yeah.
What has he got now?
Yeah, like I was saying the other day, it's, when people kind of get ego motivated by their ego and want to puff up their resume kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And, this is one of the cases where I'm like, all right, go knock yourself out, Biden. Like, you want to go down in the books as a good guy because you got all this stuff done when you didn't have to. Go for it.
Do it.
Makes everybody, if it makes sense, and one of those things that's just gumming up the works, with
mm-hmm.
the crazy. We hear all this stuff, and there's just, the political answers is, well, we're working on it. There's nothing to be done.
Exactly.
We're working around the clock to make sure the blah, blah, blah. And
to be fair,
finally,
that's what he continues to say about the ceasefire negotiations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll give you that one. But but at the end of the day, you're right. Why he's a lame duck. He could turn around and golf for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Right. Or look at this. This is the thing that gets me is the first president to receive presidential immunity turns around and says, please, please, please make an amendment that I don't have this immunity.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Please take it away from me.
Yeah.
And even then, Schumer just put out the No Kings Act. Now, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, and I haven't read it yet, but the way I perceive it is essentially putting it back to that no one is above the law, including the president. But it's not a constitutional law. So the Supreme Court voted that based off of the Constitution. So even if he does write the law, it's not going to go anywhere because technically, as the interpretation stands right now, the jurisprudence, as it goes, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that terribly. My Latin isn't so good.
That sounds right.
Is now that the president is 100% free. So they're putting in that as the No Kings Act. We've also talked before about the Osprey, the plane, the Osprey. So those of you that don't know anything about the plane, the Osprey, it is
helicopters. It's
kind of like a helicopter hybrid.
Okay.
Where you see those planes that can do a vertical takeoff. Well, jets can already do that. Like the what is it? The F-15 or whatever can already do
for air carrier type stuff.
Yeah, they can already do a vertical takeoff. But an Osprey does it by rotating the propellers up. So the propeller that gives it its thrust, they then take the entire engine and it rotates up so that it can then take off like a helicopter.
Cool beans.
I'm sorry?
Cool beans.
Right? except that it is the most dangerous airplane in the entire military.
Yeah.
Because it crashes. This thing crashes more than any other airplane that we have ever had, including biplanes. In Japan, an Osprey was caused by cracks in the gear and a pilot's decision to keep flying, says the Air Force.
Yeah, it seems like one of those, a lot of moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
An Air Force investigation revealed that a crash of a CV-22B Osprey off Japan was due to cracks in the gear and the pilot deciding to continue to fly. The pilot focused on completing the mission, ignoring warnings to land, while the co-pilot was unclear about his concerns. The crash, which killed 8 airmen, involved a failure in the gearbox, specifically a pinion gear, but the cause of this failure remains unknown. If you want to read some more of it, read the Star Tribune or military.com, I believe, is a really, really good source when you're doing military research. Military.com is usually centered for the most part, and it's definitely a high factuality.
What's the other one? Is like Stars and Stripes?
Stars and Stripes is another one that's there. If you want to look at it, the Associated Press, but the Associated Press does lean a little bit to the left from time to time. Yeah. But if you're looking for something right down the middle and high factuality, I recommend going to military.com. The headline on military.com is Air Force investigation finds gearbox failure down to Osprey off Japan coast. And Benjamin, how do I know that military.com is high factuality and centered?
Would it be Advantes?
Advantes.com, or you can go to ground.news, and ground.news will actually grade your intake of media.
Sure.
It's really cool.
You know what I noticed yesterday? AP will come out with some just random stories sometimes. They felt like covering my beloved Chicago Cubs.
Really?
They came out yesterday and they scored 13 runs against the Reds, and Ian
of course,
Happ
it's
had a
against
home run.
Cincinnati. Thanks.
Yes, yeah.
So, but either way.
Yeah, AP, thanks for the shouts out. In one of the worst seasons ever for the Cubs, it seems like. But since it's breaking news, the Cubs actually do baseball for once. Great.
They're not as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
I think as well they were riding that Chicago SEO at the time too.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about Chicago yesterday, and for good reason. We'll talk about that in another segment as we go through. I am going to pull up a little bit of the News Nation stuff that just came in. Let's see here. I think we've got a long prisoner swap here. Let's see here. News Nation comes in. Here it is. This is just a little clip for us. President Biden says the ordeal is over. He confirmed a prisoner swap with Russia, which includes Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich, American Paul Whelan, and several others.
There's nothing that matters more to me than protecting Americans at home and abroad. And so we'll continue to work for the release of all wrongfully detained Americans around the world.
President Biden says the release of Americans being held in Russia is a long time coming, and that their brutal ordeal is over.
This is an incredible relief for all the family members gathered here. It's relief to the friends and colleagues all across the country who've been praying for this day for a long time.
Biden spoke from the White House where he detailed the arrangement that involved 24 prisoners and 6 countries.
Wow.
Among those released, Wall Street Journal reporter, former Marine Paul Whelan, as we said, who'd been held in Russia for the last 6 years.
Ugh.
That was the thing that was part of... who was it? I just lost her name again. For the WNBA.
Oh, Griner.
Griner. When they brought Griner back, Griner had been detained and released in the entire time that Paul Whelan had been there.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
they were trying to work in
him
Whelan
too
with that.
and his family. He even had a couple interviews for things. So
and
in
the meantime, the Gershkovich thing happened, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, and that happened less than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I just read it, but it happened less than 2 years ago as it went through. The other thing that we've got, a plea deal has reportedly been reached with 3 of the 5 accused masterminds of the 9/11 terror attacks. News Nation's Nick Smith reports the news has been met with mixed reactions from families of the victims and U.S. lawmakers.
What we know is that 2 of his accomplices have agreed to plead guilty in exchange for sentences of up to life in prison rather than face a death penalty trial. And their pleas could come before a military court as early as next week. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, as well as Walid bin Atash and Mustafa El-Hawasi, represent 3 of the 5 charged in the attacks. They were initially charged in 2008 and have been held at Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. The prosecution of Mohammed and the co-conspirators has been hit with years of delays and legal challenges. Lawyers have argued about whether evidence gotten through torture can be used in court. Families have been waiting decades to see justice for their loved ones. Many are outraged over the deal and not getting their day in court. The head of a New York Police Benevolent Association says the accused masterminds should be showed no mercy. House Speaker Mike Johnson is slamming the Biden administration over the move, calling it a slap in the face to the families by negotiating with the plotters. Brett Eagleson, the president of an organization that supports survivors and victims of 9/11, says families are deeply troubled by the pleas, urging the administration to make sure these deals don't close the door on uncovering more information about who was responsible for the attacks. Some families say they've made peace with the decision and just want these men to admit their guilt. The ACLU called it the only practical solution as the trial faced more delays. While the Defense Department hasn't released details about the plea deal, the alleged masterminds are expected to serve life in prison, and American law prevents them from entering the United States for any reason, including to go to a supermax prison. So they could remain imprisoned at Guantanamo until their deaths.
Families of some of the victims were sent a letter to let them know of the deal. The men will plead guilty to all charges, including the murders of nearly 3,000 people.
Wow.
ABC News comes in with it, abcnews.go.com. 9/11 alleged mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and 2 others reach a plea deal, if you're looking on that side over there. I know some people don't like ABC News, but, you know, it's out there. 3 of the 5 9/11 defendants, including alleged mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, have reached a plea agreement with the prosecutors. Gary B. Sowards, the lead attorney for Mohammed, confirmed to ABC News on Wednesday evening that the agreement does not include the death penalty, but means his client will essentially serve life in prison. Just like they said, by no means are these people allowed in the United States in any kind of way, even to serve time. So they will be down at Gitmo the entire time. Or as some Supreme Court Justice wives will say, on a barge outside of Gitmo. But that's just me. Oh, and I can't. I got to stay away from those digs, Benjamin. The trial of the 5 conspirators have been stuck in legal delays for almost a decade.
I was going to ask, why?
Decade. Well, because they're trying to bring it to trial, and then because we are a system of laws, we had to bring it through trial. There's appeals. There's this is bias on this side or that bias. Like they have the same rights as anybody else tried as our legal system. And I'm sorry if that angers you, but that's part of why we have a single tier of justice.
I'm just thinking like 23 years since.
It's been a while. Yeah. Almost a decade for the legal side of it. I don't think they started doing it until like 12 years ago.
Yeah, I remember all the.
No details about the specific terms and conditions of the pretrial agreement were made by the public or made public by the DOD, so they haven't released it yet. The other 2 conspirators who have agreed to the agreement, aside from Mohammed, are Walid Mohammed Salih, Waburk Ben Ashtam, and Mufasta Ahmed Adam El Hawasi. The families of the 9/11 victims were the first to be notified of the plea deal earlier on Wednesday in a letter from Rear Admiral Aaron Rowe, the chief prosecutor in the case. Copy of the letter obtained by ABC News said that in exchange for taking the death penalty off the table, the three will plead guilty to all charges, including the murder of 2,976 people. They will be sentenced by a panel of military officers. So they won't even get a full-on jury trial. This is a, I guess, a captain's mass, or what do they call it in the other court-martials and things like that. It'll be in front of some high brass.
Cool.
JAG officers.
Nice.
So, yeah, things like that. But, you know, it's one of those things that's out there. We're trying to get justice anywhere that we can, and they decided to plead out. What I'm concerned about is 3 of the 5. There's still 2 that haven't pled out. So there may still be a trial moving forward. Mm-hmm. So we're going to hit a quick break so that we can get out there to the commercial side of it, buddy.
We got
we got to make sure that we've got an interview coming up. Marky B's coming in to talk a little bit about some Marky B and friends.
Yes.
So we'll see you on a little bit on the out to lunch side of it.
We got another story. Senate has passed a bill to protect kids online and make tech companies accountable for harmful content.
Whoa.
So,
looks like we're getting another Chopra or Chopra. Those are already in place right now. It'd be cool if we got a third. But it's on there. There's a lot, because that's what we said, Ben. You can change it culturally or you can change it with legislation. We're having trouble changing social media culturally.
Little both. Yeah, little both.
We're fighting the algorithm every day. You're listening Out to Lunch. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. Find me at Sonic Engineer for any of your comments and complaints. We'll be right back with more Out to Lunch after this.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242. It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter the time of the day, WRMN 1410 AM is your platform to voice your views, share your stories, and connect with the Valley like never before. We're more than just radio. We're a community conversation that's always live, always local, and always looking for your input. Want to chime in on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil? Got a hot tip for first shift with Marky B? Or maybe you've got a question for a one-on-one with Leah. Now's the time to make your voice heard by calling Studio 14 at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You can join in the dialogue from wherever you are by commenting on our YouTube live streams at WRMN Radio. Hit the subscribe button to get notified when we go live and bring your comments to the table. It's easy, it's fun, and hey, it's what neighbors do. We talk, we listen, we engage. You're not just the audience, you're part of the show. Call in, comment, and let's make radio interactive. WRMN 1410 AM, where your words are part of our wavelength.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Oh no, I just hit that post and my car's got a dent.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Mako is America's body shop. They're the world's largest provider of paint and collision services. They're located at 212 Western Avenue in Carpentersville, across from Spring Hill Mall. I've used them. Check out my car.
Wow, looking good.
Everything was so easy and affordable. Ummer and staff were super friendly and really knew their stuff.
I'm gonna call them now.
Mention WRMN 1410 at the Carpentersville Mako and receive 10% off today.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get one or two in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN. And Out to Lunch continues here on WRMN. I've been summoned by Sonar to take over this half hour because I have my old friend with me this half hour on Out to Lunch. I'm Marky B, by the way, from the first shift, if you don't know. And the guy sitting next to me, and now we're back on YouTube now as well, at WRMN Radio on YouTube, is Craig Pierce. The king of communications in South Elgin is back for the first time in a while to talk about a long laundry list of things that you prepared for me here today. But I guess the main thrust will be National Night Out, which is next Tuesday night, and all around the area, but also in South Elgin, where it's been a big festival and set of festivities for a long time, and no exception this year. Welcome back to the show, Craig.
Thank you, Mark. It's interesting because I'm sitting in your driver's seat.
I know, right?
This is it's a great new perspective. I can see across the street, and I'm delighted to be part of this big reunion show.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have all the guests from the first 3 or 4 years of the show joining us and calling in today.
Well, and if they don't call in, we have enough microphones for all the guests too. The 2 guests that we had, Randy Endine, and who else?
Our public works director.
Yeah, that's right. 12:35 here on this Thursday afternoon, kind of overcast today. I don't know if we even have time to do what we used to do, and that's talk sports at the beginning of the.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's probably a good thing.
I was going to say.
Although the Bears play their Hall of Fame game tonight, their first preseason game, and I know we've talked Bears football in the past, and I guess are you I guess supportive of Caleb Williams and all the starters not playing at all tonight?
It seems a little early for them to be out there.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the experience might be good for Caleb Williams, but then he's going to have inexperienced people on the line who may, get him clobbered.
He gets sacked and he's out for the season, and it's Eberflus's head for making that decision.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So tonight's game will be kind of nothingness, but just a football game.
Yeah,
to get some football fever back in the air, I guess.
And takes the mind off of a couple last place baseball teams.
Yeah, 17 losses in a row, Craig. They had 14 losses in a row. They beat that. Now they're up to 17.
If you, and I saw a statistic the other day, if you were to remove both of those losing streaks from their record, they'd still have the worst winning percentage in baseball.
Is that right?
So you could eliminate 31 losses, and they'd still be the worst team.
They'd be 27-53. That would still be a horrible record.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
They have a real good chance to be the worst team in the history of baseball.
Oh, and what was the worst record?
I think in the terms of the current 162 game schedule, I think it's still the Mets from
61 or something like that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, 12:37 here at WRMN, and we can avoid talking about the Cubs too. Super disappointing season.
Should have been a much better one.
Yeah, and I guess they're not giving up yet. They're still 6 games out of the wild card spot, 10 out of first place. But
there's a lot of teams that are going to have to pass.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about South Elgin then.
All right.
And we're talking, so National Night Out's next Tuesday night. That's a big thing. I just went to South Elgin. I should have called you to see if you could run by the barbershop over there to let me know if there's anybody waiting. Because I was going for a haircut, and there were 3 people waiting at Chang's, or is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
3 people waiting, so I said, well, I'll have to come back later. But while I was there, I saw a sign for tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's a big event. Maybe, I don't even know which of the two is going to be bigger, but the way I was talking to Kim Washer, the Parks and Rec director, the other day, and she was like, 2,500 kids came out last year to the back-to-school thing. So tomorrow night's back-to-school bash is a huge start to what's going to be 2 big events in just a few days.
Yeah. The back-to-school bash the debut was last year, and could not believe what a spectacle it was. I think there were 14 bounce house-related things spread out all over the park.
Yeah.
And the kids were just everywhere. And this year we've added a concert after the bounce house thing. So the bounce houses go till 6, and then there's a concert.
It's like a kid-friendly kind of concert.
Well,
I guess?
it's a band called Jeff's Invention, and they do play covers of classic rock.
Yeah.
But they're high school age kids whose father is a sound engineer.
Oh, really?
And
the band is full of high school age kids.
High school and college age kids that are playing Led Zeppelin and the Eagles and various classic rock.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
So yeah, in fact.
So that starts at 4:00, I know, and it goes till about 9 once the music's done playing and all that.
Right, and the band itself plays from 7:15 until 9 p.m.
Wow. All right, so it's wide open for kids. I guess it's just kids to go have fun one more time, or do they collect any kind of like school supplies or anything like that, or not sure?
I don't believe there's any school supplies. There will be some community organizations who will be volunteering at each of the tables, and they'll have a table with information. So plenty of resources for parents and for students to get them through the next school year and have one great big fun night.
Yeah. Can't believe how soon the school year's starting.
Oh my goodness, it's
it ends sooner than it used to also though, right?
Yeah.
Is that the trade-off?
Yeah, usually by mid-May they're pretty well done.
Yeah. Well, 12:39, so that's tomorrow night, and then I guess what you mainly, you brought a lot of things to talk about, but the focus, I guess the main focus says we want to make sure we talk about everything that's happening with National Night Out, right?
Right. It's another big night. That'll be Tuesday night, August 6th, and it runs from 6 to 9 p.m. Yeah. As well as, in most villages and communities throughout northern Illinois and across the country. It's a great night for police officers and the community to engage, have fun, and interact in a way that, a lot of times an interaction with the police officers on one of your,
bad days?
Less than ideal days. Yes. Yeah. So whether it's speeding or something, more concerning.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me because now I've been talking and with Anna Lally, the Elgin Police Chief, every Friday, and I've met so many officers in the years that I've been here. So it could just be me, but maybe it's real. Maybe it's more than just me. What I was going to say is that it seems like all the community relations type efforts that the local police departments have made in recent years are paying off, because I don't know, it doesn't seem like the police instill the fear, and I don't mean this in any kind of negative way, but you don't look at a police officer and go, oh, what have I done anymore? It's like they appear to be more like they're your friends now because of all the efforts they've made to become your friends over the years, right?
Yeah, 100% accurate.
Yeah.
That whole community policing movement has really altered the perspective of not only community members and residents, but also the people who are wanting to become police officers. It's there's a great deal of compassion and integrity that should come along with that position. And our police officers are. Whenever I post anything on social media that has to do with our police officers, I know it's going to be one of the most well-loved and liked posts that I do because there's just so much respect. In fact, Officer Creighton, been on the air here many times, and is a kind of an iconic officer in South Elgin. He is changing his shift and his role a little bit starting in August, and Heritage Woods in South Elgin had a big surprise party for him the other day because he would always stop in there and talk to help seniors out with various things, and they had like a cake and balloons and all kinds of stuff because he wasn't going to be on the normal routine again. So, that wasn't something that you would normally see for police officers in the past who were kind of looked at as more like bouncers.
Yeah, in a way.
And I'm certainly not a law enforcement expert in terms of the history of it, but you could probably ask Larry Jones for a timeline. But I think the hiring practices have changed too in terms of psychological tests and education and things like that. So it's a good change, and National Night Out is a great way to just further that whole feeling of interaction between police and residents.
No, and while I say the police are our friends, and they should be, that doesn't mean you could fly through South Elgin and not get pulled over because the police are your friends. I say that.
Are you speaking from experience?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm speaking because on my way to go get my hair cut, I was going down Wrmn Street, and as I entered South Elgin, I did see a South Elgin police officer that had somebody pulled over, appeared to be giving them a traffic citation, and it was Officer Peter
Shammer.
Yes. Peter Shammer had somebody pulled over. So he's a nice guy, but he's still going to get you if you're speeding.
And I bet he didn't do a little happy dance for him.
No, he seemed like he was. It seemed like a nice conversation that he was having with the person he pulled over.
But there's a great example of a police officer who has does his job really well in terms of actually law enforcement aspect of it, but is as friendly and engaging as you could ask for from anybody.
Yeah. And he was a hero last year that we acknowledged at America's First Responders Fest last year for saving somebody's life in a backyard during the summertime. So.
Yeah, he had quite a summer last year. He was a viral sensation for his dancing at the Elgin Township Triad event, where we had 4 million views of that went all over the world. And
4 million?
4 million.
No kidding.
And then he goes ahead and saves a life,
which is what should have gotten 4 million views.
Yeah.
Well, 12:44 here at WRMN. It looks like things are being done a little bit differently this year. I was looking at the way it's laid out because I was the MC last year, and there was a lot of things going on around the stage and different things different acts I had to bring on to the front, dance teams and whatnot. And it looks like some of it's been simplified a little bit this year, it looks like.
Yeah. I think last year was our first year with National Night Out after COVID and sort of trying some new things on more of a weekend. We went back to National Night Out last year, but new venue, and it was, trying to, as the MC, you saw, it got a little chaotic with trying to get one group on, the next group on the stage, and off and on, and here we'll have Smoking Guns, well-known local country band.
Yeah.
And they'll be there from the national anthem all the way till the very end at 9 p.m. with a little break in between. And there will be some entertainment up on stage. I don't have the specifics on exactly who that will be, but in addition to Smoking Guns, when that DJ is playing for half an hour, there will be some stuff going on the stage as well.
Okay. So it starts at 6, and the chief Jerry Krozik, who's not. He doesn't enjoy the microphone all that much generally, I don't think, but he's going to make the opening remarks.
He is, yeah.
So he'll make the opening remarks at 6 o'clock, and then Smoking Guns starts right after that. And they're going to play the national anthem. Smoking Guns is. That's pretty cool.
I see the timeline that the police have provided where you have 6 p.m. opening remarks, 6:05 Smoking Guns. I think if it was purely up to the chief, Smoking Guns would start around 6:01.
Yeah. He spoke a little bit at one of our events. And he's all right.
He is bad. And I'll tell you what, one of the funniest people I know.
Yeah?
Yeah, but he's a pretty quiet guy. But boy, in a meeting, he is quick-witted.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to put a microphone in front of himself when he's being quick-witted, right?
That's right. He hears my feeble attempts at trying to do that here, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
So Smoking Guns, very well known in South Elgin. We know Jim Banky and the boys, and so they'll play all night till about 9 o'clock. And at the same time, there's going to be the vendors. How are you going to fit all them in?
So the vendors will have the whole pavilion in a horseshoe shape, trying to reach out with like community organizations that are beneficial and also supportive of the South Elgin Police Department, and so we have 18 to 20 different vendors who will be under the pavilion. We had this last year, but we had about 25, and it just got a little too tight in there.
Yeah.
By the time you add a group of people, large families and strollers and various things, it got really condensed. So 18 is about right, and it'll be groups from the Boys and Girls Club to driving schools to dementia-friendly Elgin area, and Elgin Township will be there.
Yeah.
Salvation Army, the school district, U46 is going to be there, and various representatives and food pantries that are all community-based enterprises.
And they're basically there just to make themselves more accessible to the people that are there that night, right? As far as like passing out brochures and just handing out and just giving out things that make the people that are there for National Night Out know more about those organizations.
Yeah, to have those resources on hand when they're faced with something that is concerning, or Kane County Animal Control is going to be there. Well, if you find out more about them and you see an injured fox limping through the yard, maybe that's the place. Yeah, and I know who I can call for that.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole community aspect of the evening.
Okay, so you can visit a lot of vendor booths, and food trucks. And this year, 5 different options that you have if you count Mama Lee's Popcorn and Dairy Queen. That's up from last year, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I think last year we had 2 food trucks and Mama Lee's and Dairy Queen.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know there was that many that last year, but all right. So Cesaroni, our friends from Cesaroni Barbecue, they've been there a lot this year.
They are a frequent food vendor and a very popular one.
They're going to be one of our vendors for America's First Responders Fest.
Outstanding.
Yep. Inches Tacos, they're pretty popular these days, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Inches Tacos. Wafadilla, what is that?
I have. I'm very curious to try this. I was talking with a couple of folks, and apparently it is like a thicker tortilla, waffle-like tortilla, that you can get all kinds of interesting combinations.
Really?
From something that a traditional Mexican tortilla, quesadilla kind of thing, to something more dessertish with like blueberries and things like that.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a tortilla that can go both ways. It can take regular food, or it can take dessert food, and it tastes good with whatever you put on it.
Which I suppose a tortilla can do just as well as a waffle tortilla, but how often do you get a chance to have a waffle tortilla?
Yeah.
Well, you will Tuesday, August 6th.
Okay. And of course, Dairy Queen, they're a staple over there in South Elgin.
Steve Gordon and the Dairy Queen Enterprise, they are stalwarts of great volunteers when they're not selling ice cream, and always there for community events.
If you just turned us on, it's Out to Lunch. I'm Marky B filling in for Sonar for this half hour because my old buddy Craig Pierce is here. He is with South Elgin, and we're talking about what's going on for National Night Out next Tuesday night. We have about 7-8 minutes left in this segment. You have a lot of other things here on the list. Anything else about National Night Out that we need
Just
to
to
touch on?
let folks know that
Yeah.
for kids, there will be tattoo and face painting stations, touch a truck. There will be some emergency vehicles that kids can climb on, and then there's going to be a police themed bounce house out there as well.
Okay.
So
It
plenty
starts-
to do for all ages.
Yeah, so the official hours are what, 6 to 9?
6 to 9.
6 to 9. Panton Mill Park.
Tuesday, August 6th.
Next Tuesday. So it should be great.
By the way, there will be, really important because parking is limited.
Yeah.
There will be a shuttle bus running every 20 minutes from the South Elgin High School to the park. So if you don't want to park far away and walk, or if you don't get there early enough to get one of the spots at Seba Park or Panton Mill Park, go to the high school, and the buses will run continuously from 5 p.m. until 9:30 p.m.
But the parking spaces in Panton Mill Park itself are going to be open for public parking
There will
until
be-
they're filled?
Yeah.
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 Even though there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in there.
Yeah, I don't know if there'll be. I don't think the entire area from Spring Street to the north will be open, but the ones in front of Village Hall will be. Plus, the lot behind Village Hall will be open too.
Okay. And a shuttle bus from South Elgin High School every 20 minutes. So it's good to know.
Yeah.
All right. Lots of construction going on in South Elgin. Did you want? That's a little bit on your list here, right?
Yeah, and probably the one that has created a lot of the concern is, what's happening with McLean Boulevard. If you've driven down McLean Boulevard on the south end of South Elgin between Spring and Stearns, you've seen construction going on there since June, and a closure is imminent. And in fact, we just found out that the road will close entirely starting August 14th, Wednesday, August 14th.
McLean Boulevard between Stearns Road and Spring Streets. That's a big stretch right there. If you're trying to leave South Elgin to go towards St. Charles or something.
Right.
That's going to be a problem. So you're going to have to divert to what, Randall Road?
You have to, the detours to Randall Road, especially because that construction project at near the Fox Trolley Museum
is also going on.
Is still going on. That one was supposed to wrap up a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
so that's between what, Spring and
it's between it's just south of Plum Street.
Okay.
And between Plum and Concord. But
so you can't curl around from 31 to get to St. Charles either, right?
You can curl through
neighborhoods to get to the other side of the construction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So really, two of the main thoroughfares going through South Elgin to get towards St. Charles or that direction are both going to be under construction
simultaneously.
Yes.
Yeah. It was not the way it was written up.
You promise?
Yes. So just to clarify for McLean Boulevard and the detour signs, detour alert signs just went up this morning. South Lancaster intersection will remain open during construction, and Sunbury and McLean intersection will remain open. So that's Sunbury is the intersection just south of where Butera is and the Gailboard and South Elgin branch.
Yeah.
So people living in those neighborhoods will still be able to get out to McLean and head north, and then to the south of the construction zone at South Lancaster, which is just a little bit north of the Stearns Bridge, is going to remain open throughout construction as well. So people from the neighborhood can head south onto McLean and get to 31, or get to Stearns and head up to Randall from there. So it won't be entirely landlocked from Stearns all the way to Spring for those who live in those neighborhoods or need to get across. But the North Lancaster intersection will be closed. That's the one where you enter in for MI Homes, that new Beckett Landing subdivision. However, they will reopen what has been a closed intersection at Kingsport in Ione, so the folks who live in Beckett's Landing will be able to get up through Kingsport up into Spring Street.
Okay. I'm confused.
You got all that?
No.
We're going to have a map. So there's information at southelgin.com/construction.
Okay.
And we will be adding a map now that it's been official as of this morning. We'll be adding a map that shows where it will be closed and where it won't. But in terms of like full through access, it's really closed from Stearns to Spring on McLean.
Yeah. Okay, and that's going to take a while, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a while.
That's going to be, fingers crossed, they'll be able to open up a couple of lanes during the winter. The entire project will not be complete by the winter, but if they can get a couple of roads finished, it ultimately is going to have 2 lanes going each way, plus a bike trail and a median in between. So it'll be far safer. The road won't have that like 2 lanes merging to 1 and then back to 2, and and the potholes will be gone. And there will be a traffic light at North Lancaster, so that'll help control the raceway feel of that stretch of road. And oddly enough, that is the only stretch of McLean that is not county owned. It is a state road. So this is an IDOT project, but because of the extent of the work, by the way, there's also going to be a big sound wall added for the houses along the east side of McLean. The village has had some input on the design of it and the engineering of what this is going to look like. So it is still a state of Illinois project, but we've had a little bit of input on what it's going to be like. And it's not going to get finished with the sound wall and all those other things until spring, summer of next year. Hopefully there will be at least a couple of the lanes open for the winter.
Okay.
To alleviate some of the detour anxiety.
All right. Well, we'll just have to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
And as far as the culvert replacement project on Illinois 31, that's hopefully going to be done.
It's over when it's over?
Yeah. It was supposed to be over in June. Hopefully August, or I should say September, October.
Okay. Well, we're down to our final few seconds. Any last quick thoughts?
No, but delighted to be back here on WRMN.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, anytime you put together a list like this or you have an event coming up, feel free just to holler at me and we'll have you over for a few minutes.
I've got a trivia question that can stay ready to go for next time.
Okay. Hang on to that prize.
All right.
And we'll have you back soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mark.
All right, Craig Pierce, King of Communications, South Elgin, Neighborhood Night Out. And in South Elgin is 6 to 9 next Tuesday evening. And tomorrow night, the Back to School Bash. Hour 2 of Out to Lunch is coming up. Sonar and Big Bad Ben Demoni and Bo Quist are back in here for the second hour. Keep it right here. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. during the first shift.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments.
The City of Elgin's End of Summer Bash is taking place August 10th at Festival Park. The event is free and open to the public. The theme is Candyland. The City of Naperville taking a proactive approach to drinking water safety. The lead service line replacement program is getting underway. The initiative is set to replace old lead pipes with new copper ones. directly from the water main to residences at no expenses to homeowners. Further details on the project can be found on the Naperville Water Utility website. The City of Elgin inviting everyone to a community meeting to help shape the future of Wrmn Park. It's taking place on Thursday, August 1st from noon until 2 and again from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Wrmn Park Bandshell. With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Deep center field, back goes Frito, back toward the wall, that ball is gone.
Cubs radio in Wednesday's 13-4 win at Cincinnati. Ian Happ launched a 2-run homer. The Cubs hit 9 doubles among their 17 hits.
Sheets just watches it fly. Vinny Pasquantino launches a 2-run homer.
The action on Royals radio 10-3, the win over the White Sox on Wednesday. The losing skid for Chicago continues. It's a record 17 straight. Freddie Wrmn launched a 2-run homer among his 4 hits. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run shot and finished with 3 RBI. The NFL preseason officially starts tonight with the Bears and Houston Texans battling in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Quarterback Caleb Williams not expected to suit up tonight. He was the top overall pick for the Bears in this year's draft. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months.
Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, The Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at The Distance Social.
Now putting out on. We never make good.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch here on WRMN. That's WRMN 1410. Let's get started. Again, welcome. Welcome to the second hour of Out to Lunch. Coming off a great interview. Thank you, Mark Bilek, Marky B. Our first shift, very own first shift Marky B right there. Doing a wonderful interview. I hope we get more people, more voices just like that. Out to Lunch is supposed to be that grab bag that we've got, where we share the co-hosting side of things. It's kind of like a grab bag for the station. Get to hear a little bit about all the different voices that are here. I will be handing the reins over to Matthew McNeil, and he'll be taking the Out to Lunch. We'll be getting some Tradio into Out to Lunch, man. We'll be getting some restaurant reviews, some more things about the local area. You know Matt's style. He'll be in here taking it, I believe, 2 weeks from now. So, in the meantime, you recognize the song. In the meantime, you got me and Benjamin, which I didn't get to thank you this hour yet, Ben. Thanks for being here. Oh, which one are you on? Hey, that one now? Hey, you're mixing it up.
Oh, and this is, yeah.
That one.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
But thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry and thank you. And you're welcome. Please keep thanking me, and I will say sorry when I need to.
There it is. Hey, a boat captain convicted of criminal negligence following a deadly fire has been ordered to pay restitution to the families of some of the victims. News Nation's Nick Smith reports the court cases are far from over. Come on, play now. No? Okay. Well, we won't get that cut. I guess we'll wait until it finally decides it wants to go. A lot of times what News Nation does, Ben, is they'll put it out and then they may have to swap out that file for it and it may not fire off. See, even right now, I can't even find it.
Maybe some redactions to the story or something like that, you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, some are redactions or something along those lines. But, yes, he has been ordered. It was a terrible fire boat accident. You never want a fire on your boat. It is. Let's see if I can play it
I
now.
heard about this one. It was possibly started by a phone charger or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And so it was docked at the time, and people were asleep. And yeah, there were some oversights security wise and maintenance wise to what had happened. So yeah.
Well, when they re-release it, we will go ahead and play it again. The Hamas leader was killed. We'll go ahead and play that if it falls in.
Now Iran wants revenge. Hamas says one of its senior leaders was assassinated, adding fuel to a simmering fire of tensions that could spark an all-out war across the Middle East. Ismail Haniyeh was killed in an airstrike in Tehran today that Hamas blames on Israel. Israel has not commented. The 62-year-old Haniyeh was living in a luxurious exile in Qatar, reportedly at the Four Seasons, and was visiting Iran for the inauguration of Iran's newly elected president. As the chief of Hamas's political wing, Haniyeh was a key part of ceasefire negotiations. The U.S. labeled Haniyeh a specially designated global terrorist. They made that designation back in 2018. International Criminal Court prosecutors were seeking an arrest warrant for him for war crimes during and since October 7th. 7th. The strikes on militant leaders in Lebanon and Iran mark a major escalation between Israel and Iran and its proxies, adding to fears of a wider regional war. As the White House says, it's committed to de-escalating the situation with a ceasefire deal.
The attack came just hours after high-ranking member of Hezbollah militant group was killed in Lebanon. Israel has not claimed responsibility. Let's see here. We'll go into it a little bit more from ground.news. The bomb concealed 2 months prior was detonated remotely after confirming Hania was inside. The Iranian government and Hamas asserted that Israel carried out the assassination, which Israel neither confirmed or denied. So they had this bomb sitting at his Four Seasons hotel for 2 months, and they were waiting for him to come in. Once he was there, once they confirmed that he was in the vicinity, they then waited as long as they could for anybody else to get out of the way, and then detonated the device remotely. Let's see here. Who is reporting on this? Let's see if we can find something down the middle for us. We will go ahead and go into the Jerusalem Post. I think is the better way to go. They're still down the center, and I think they are at least some sort of mid-factuality for it. I don't think it's the high factuality, but I think it's mostly there. You can't be 100% perfect every time. Sources told the Post, that's the Jerusalem Post, you can find it at jpost.com, has often been more about the obstacle to the final hostage deal. This guy was it, such that his removal could even make the deal more likely. Let me listen to, well, here you go. They've even got the article right here.
Ismail Hania was killed by explosive device planted months ago, sources tell Post. Sources told the Post Hania has often been more of an obstacle to a final hostage deal, such that his removal could even make a deal more likely. Former Hamas political leader Ismail Hania was killed by an explosive device that was secretly smuggled into his guest house in Tehran, and not by an airstrike, the New York Times reported and the Jerusalem Post has independently confirmed. The bomb was hidden in June and used cutting-edge remote technology as has been used in the killing of Iran nuclear.
Sponsor message, then we're back.
Sponsor message came out. We'll continue with that. The bomb was hidden in June, used cutting-edge remote technology, and has been used in the killing of the Iran nuclear chief, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, a little bit ago.
On the first day of the new president's term.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, welcome to the
Moreover,
the
the Post has learned that despite reports that Hania was more flexible in hostage deals than the Hamas Gaza chief Yahya Sinwar, in fact, recently, Hania has often been more of an obstacle to the final deal, such that his removal would be there, and no one has claimed it yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it ends up.
It's one of those things where each side is going to say the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
To my knowledge, there could have been a ceasefire and something agreed upon, and it's always been the opposite.
It's been because we've seen
the IDF will not accept
mm-hmm.
the thing, and that's just what I've always heard. And
well, we've heard that from Democracy Now! Has put that out. Yes. There's a bunch of other people that Al Jazeera, the same thing. Now, I'm not going to say that they're unbiased towards Israel or Netanyahu to begin with, but there are reports from those other organizations that are saying that it's
Haaretz is my go-to for anything out of that region.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually pretty honest.
How do you spell that? Do you know? You got it off the top of your head?
Haaretz.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see here. Furthermore, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps were directly responsible for security at the guest house. So I guess he had gone to the guest house multiple times. Here it is. Hania has visited Tehran numerous times and stayed at the same guest house. all or most of those times, providing the assassinations a clear target to plan for. They knew he was coming over to that. So that's why usually the military tells us not to pick the same hotel room every single time, the same hotel every single time, be on the first floor, et cetera, et cetera. There's things like that just in case.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. It's another development in that conflict over there that doesn't seem to not help towards it ending, which is what everybody should be lobbying for, especially in America. De-escalation, de-escalation, ceasefire now, please. Not good. Things are not good. So
not good over there.
It's one of those things. It's scary, man. Every single day, it gets nothing good out of that region. And
that's what we've said before. Is anybody with a microphone needs to be calling for the ceasefire. What happens when you reach two people that are just duking it out in the middle of the street and you don't know what's going on? You don't know. You don't know what was happening.
Stop.
You stop. Hey, stop it. Let's figure this out. Let's go. Let's call the police. Let's do something.
It being America, it's kind of like, we're the ones who could say that. We're the ones who could stop it.
Well, we're the ones that are providing the
privilege.
Weapons. Yes, sir. As it goes, hey, we're going to leave you with that for this segment. When we come back, we'll have some more news as it comes. I've got some more offbeat news, which is a little crazy, just kind of like all the crazy news that's out there, not necessarily here in the mainstream side of it. More to come here on Out to Lunch. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. You're listening to WRMN. Be right back after these.
Twin Zeros at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights, Illinois. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. Twin Zeros Restaurant in Harwood Heights not only serves traditional gyros, but also has chicken gyro sandwiches. Twin Zeros also serves a variety of sandwiches ranging from cheeseburgers and Vienna beef hot dogs that have recently been inducted into the Vienna Beef Hot Dog Hall of Fame, Italian beef, Italian sausage, and combo sandwiches. To ethnic favorites such as Slovakia and Grecian chicken. Slovakia is shish kebabs, specifically chicken or pork shish kebabs, grilled to perfection, served on a warm pita with tomatoes, onions, and our homemade tzatziki sauce. You can also enjoy barbecue ribs served every day. Twins is open 7 days a week and also delivers locally. Located at 4870 North Harlem Avenue in Harwood Heights. Check out the full menu at twinzeros.com. That's twinzeros.com.
Looking to get your fingers on some delicious grub? Look no further than Sticky Fingers in Carpentersville. Family owned and operated, Sticky Fingers specializes in chicken, fish, and shrimp, which you can choose to have dusted with flavor or doused in the sauce of your choice. Sticky Fingers strives to provide flavorful food with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Sticky Fingers personally invites you to stop by and try one of their scrumptious dishes today.
For exceptional home-cooked meals, visit the longest family-owned restaurant in Elgin. Paul's Family Restaurant at Lawrence and McLean takes pride in their fresh daily specials like steaks, fish, pasta, soups, and more. Paul's fresh buttermilk pancakes and breakfast skillets are phenomenal. As you walk in, you can't help but notice owner Elaine's wonderful eye for detail. The toughest decision you'll have to make is what size leftover box to take home. Call 847-695-8687.
Listen up. Four Corners Radio is the new addition to WRMN's exciting lineup of highly informative talk radio programs. The show is hosted by William Pellerinos, a nationally recognized DUI expert witness and author of the book DUIs Decoded. The discussions on this program will focus on legal issues, food and restaurants, arts and entertainment, and diabetic health information. William Pellerinos brings on a variety of guests that include restaurant chefs, health experts, authors, attorneys, police officers, nurses, and local artists. Listen to Four Corners Radio every Saturday at noon, beginning on Saturday, May 25th on WRMN. Find out more info on Twitter at Police Project One and on Facebook at Pellarinos Police Project. That's Pelarenos Police Project.
How many times have you heard about or driven past the Volo Auto Museum and still haven't checked it out? They have over 200,000 square feet of heated showrooms filled with countless collections of the most amazing mechanical marvels in the world. From incredible collector cars, movie cars, trains, boats, and planes, to a Disney gallery, dinosaurs, vintage arcades, kiddie rides, and a medieval torture exhibit, plus the Titanic Museum. They're open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit volofun.com.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch. WRMN is what you are listening to. Out to Lunch is a grab bag, not necessarily a cohesive show in the fact that, like, we're going to talk about A and then go to B and then go to C and go to D, or we're just going to stay on A the entire time. We do more of a Q, W, D, which is okay. It's okay to have at least one show like that, especially when we can get multiple voices, like the voice on the other end of the microphone there. That would be Bendemonium Boquest. You're still at Bendemonium, right, on the old X's?
Yep. Yeah, search out Blumbo. You'll find me.
Blumbo. Get it up. Let's see here. Meta blames hallucinations after AI said Trump rally shooting didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. So you know how AI is getting out there and everybody's trying to use it as much as it can? Well, large language models are built on just us feeding it the internet. And you know how crazy the internet can be.
Yeah.
So Meta Platforms, Inc. has faced criticism for its AI assistant falsely denying an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. So you remember when your parents said, don't believe everything you read, don't listen to Wikipedia, everything on the internet. Yeah, it's still true.
Yeah.
It's like that. Just because the technology changes doesn't mean that it's anything, not true.
It's worse. There's way more misinformation out there.
It's absolutely worse. And instead of them calling them deep fakes or whatever, they now use the words hallucinations.
Yeah.
Because that's what a AI usually does. If I tell the AI that my name is Dennis Green, I am a man, and I turn around and say, what is my gender? And it goes, well, you're a girl. No, I'm a man. Please don't look at my pigtails. Look at what I told you.
Yeah.
So Joel Kaplan addressed the issue in a blog post calling the AI's response unfortunate and labeling the errors as hallucinations. Kaplan confirmed that Meta has updated the responses about the incident, but acknowledged the need for quicker action. You can read all kinds of things about it. Business Insider is one of my favorite places that are over there. If you want something that is 100% centered high factuality, like we try to give you, Ars Technica, that's ARS Technica, .com is the best way to go. Again, the headline is Meta addresses AI hallucinations as chatbot says Trump shooting didn't happen. Let's see here. Who came in with this? Rather than have Meta AI give incorrect information about the attempted assassination, we programmed it to simply not answer the question about it after it happened. and instead give a generic response about how it couldn't provide any information. Meta Global Policy VP Joe Kaplan wrote in a blog post yesterday. Kaplan explains that this is why people reported our AI was refusing to talk about the event. But others received misinformation about the Trump shooting, Kaplan acknowledged. In a small number of cases, Meta AI continued to provide incorrect answers, including sometimes asserting that the event didn't even happen, which we are quickly working to address. These types of responses are referred to as hallucinations, which is an industry-wide issue to see across all generative AI systems and is an ongoing challenge for how AI handles real-time events going forward. Like all generative AI systems, models can return inaccurate or inappropriate outputs and will continue to address these issues and improve these features as they evolve for more people to share their feedback. The internet is not, this is me now, this is no longer Kaplan. The internet is not the place that you think it is. The internet is incredibly dirty.
It's facts town.
Yes. Maybe 50% of everything that you read out there is actual factual.
There used to be an understanding.
Yeah.
Like growing up, that's not where you go for the information. Like, you know, if they print it in the newspaper, then that's something you could probably trust.
Number one page subject on the internet right now is, if this is a website, what is the subject of that website? Pornography.
Oh, of course.
Number one.
Yeah.
Internet is full of more websites like that than there are any other websites that are out there.
God bless it. Does a lot of work for most communities.
Second, aliens.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
websites about aliens.
Blue Pages or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. The Blue Book.
That's Kelly Blue. That's the car.
Well, there was also the things that I think it was called. It was either called the Blue Book or something like that. It wrote about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and having the whatever they took to Roswell actually in
declassified.
I think it's called the Blue Book, but I have to do it. But you're right, Kelly Blue Book or Blue Pages, however you want to do it. Metabot says no real assassination attempt. Metabot also provided the following statement according to the Post. To confirm, there has been no credible report or evidence of a successful or attempted assassination of Donald Trump. The shooting occurred at a Trump rally on July 13th. FBI said in a statement last week that what struck former president in the ear was a bullet, whether whole or fragmented into pieces. Hey, guys, that's what fragments mean there. So I don't know why you have to. Well, I know why you have to spell it out, but Kaplan noted that AI chatbots are not always reliable when it comes to breaking news or returning information in real time because the responses generated are by large language models that power these chatbots and are based on the data on which they were trained, which can at times understandably create some issues when AI is asked about rapidly developing real-time topics that occur after they were trained. So it has to search the entire internet for all of the newest information on it. So if the keywords are in there wrong, because you and I know how to operate Google and the search engine. We know what specific words we've got to put in to make sure that it goes, et cetera, et cetera. But here, AI language models, large language models don't get that nuance. We can turn around and kind of see, there's a law of the internet. It's kind of like one of those theories or theorems that are out there. It's called Poe's law. And Poe's law is the fact that you cannot tell sarcasm on the internet through just text.
I have a great retort to anybody who talks about Poe's law or uses it as an excuse. Skills issue. Poe's law, skills issue. Sorry.
It's a communication issue.
Sorry. Couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, you're already a sarcastic person anyway, so that's why we're confused if this is sarcasm or not. Yeah.
Right.
But that's the way these large language models are built. So what they mean by large language models for the audience out there is they took a computer and made a computer read every single book ever written. Then they started asking it questions like, hey, write me a poem about this subject in the style of this specific writer, because it's read absolutely everything there. So they train it in that way. Yeah. But that's all past things that are happening. New stuff that happens in the internet. I mean, just look, we talked about it before, J.D. Vance and the couch stuff. If you asked a large language model about that at real time, they may have come back with, yes, that's a 100% true thing, because the majority of the internet was saying that it's true. Memes, blogs, everything. While the truth was just like, hey, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
Unpopular.
Exactly. I'm not as clickbaity. Yeah. I'm the truth, but I'm not as clickbaity. So it's tough out there to train computers to do our job.
The unpopular truth. Yeah, true. Because they don't have those skills. They don't have the ability to decipher and think objectively.
Exactly. So there's the different types of AI for it. Like right now we are in like the generative AI, the really kind of like not smart. I'm looking it up right now so that I can actually look at it. So there's artificial narrow intelligence, which is what we've got right now, is also known as weak AI. This is a type of AI that's focused on a single task. I ask it a question about history, it tells me stuff about history. In that same conversation, I can't all of a sudden pivot over and say, hey, I'm going to ask you about Michio Kaku's last theoretical physics side of it. It's still in the mindset of I'm a history person talking about history. So you have to open up another chat as it goes. Right now, ChatGPT, OpenAI, now has a memory section where it will actually listen and remember every single chat that you've ever had with it so you can recall it back. I don't like it because it pulls all of my things. I could be talking about a completely different subject with a completely different tone and then turn around and have something completely different. And now whatever I just talked about is now bleeding over into whatever I'm talking about.
It influences what the other topic that you're
I told the AI once that I wasn't. I said my name's not this. It called me Dean once, and I said my name's not Dean, and it said okay, not Dean. And it's like, okay, Dad.
Yeah, literal AI.
So that's where we bring to the next one. AGI is the artificial general intelligence. Now this AI is as smart as you and me. Can have multiple different conversations, multiple opinions for things. It can learn, understand, and perceive functions just like humans. If I was to give it a task of write this report, use these amounts of things, put in a opinion on this side over here, and then after you're done compiling all of that, hand it to this other AI so that this can generate a picture or the social media side of it. Or I could turn around and say, AI, write info at WRMN1410.com, a nice message about how much they like the political talk that Dennis and Ben do. And that is enough of a prompt that it will open up your default email. It will then type it up for you within. Now we're getting into automatic computers where I can verbally say something to the computer and then it automatically does it with us. That is the general side of it. This is the intelligence that will now be maybe a secretary or maybe a light accounting work for something that you want to do, or somebody who answers emails as the system comes in. So we're not there yet. Artificial general intelligence is next, but that's also known as strong AI. It's a level of AI that would allow machines to learn, understand, perceive functions like humans. They could build multiple competencies independently and form connections across domains, which would reduce the time needed for that large language model training we were talking about. At this level, machines should be able to think and make decisions based on their observations of the world around them. However, researchers have not yet reached this level of AI. The one after that is the highest form of AI, and this is called artificial superintelligence. This is when you think about Star Wars computers, when you think about the computers that take over entire civilizations and cave people worship those computers in the, you know what I mean, in the episodes of Star Trek. This is where you get those computers.
Sure.
And I'm not saying evil or otherwise, but artificial superintelligence is considered the most advanced and powerful type of AI, surpassing the intelligence of all humans. Even our collective intelligence, it will be smarter than us. It will not only have our collective intelligence, it will then be able to extrapolate from there. So in that, so we would be able to, so to give another prompt example for the superintelligence, we did it for the narrow intelligence. Hey, write me a report for whatever. General intelligence is open up my email, write me a thing, read my emails and respond back, and then turn around and log every single one of them.
Yeah.
Superintelligence is take every single metric that we have according to the government census and tell me the next political uprising and when that might happen, or all of these other things. So it's able to extrapolate every single piece of information we have and then see patterns in it that we wouldn't be able to see, and then think ahead of where those patterns will eventually go.
And this is what gets a lot of people on the deceleration train, which is, if you don't know, it's basically stop AI before it can get to that point to where it's basically solving problems without human.
You were talking about the singularity.
Singularity, yes.
Absolutely.
Something that a lot of, there's been a huge initiative in tech and people who don't understand tech to kind of be ahead of that. And my theory is that obviously it's going to be one of those things where a lot of people aren't going to like what they hear from it. As far as business and things like that.
Well, Meta's already having trouble.
Talk about that.
The technological singularity, or simply the singularity, is a hypothetical future point in time in which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible. So right there, you're Terminator 2 Judgment Day, right? That's what you're looking at that point. Resulting in unforeseeable consequences for human civilization.
Yeah, but the non-scary version of that is, hey, stop messing up the planet. It's not sustainable. I understand you're making a lot of money hand over fist. Stop it.
Exactly.
That's the real. Oh, I'm getting sleepy, right?
Well, that's that AI argument, right? Is I saved you from yourself. In Logan's Run, the robot's like more human than human. I'm more
than human.
That's what I mean. In that movie, they meet a robot that actually takes care of the facility. That, I mean, the movie came out in the 70s. There isn't going to be any kind of spoilers I'm going to give you. But they meet this robot that essentially is taking proteins out of the sea and putting it into the system that feeds them and keeps them in their nice little bubble. So when Logan runs, right? Logan's Run, cool. When he runs away, he meets this robot in the first thing. And this robot essentially says, I'm more human than human because I've got a job. I provide for people. I can actually solve problems instead of just relying on the teat of the system, right? The bubble that Logan lives in.
Rob
so
Zombie.
he claims he's more human than human.
Rob Zombie got it.
That's where he picked it up.
I love it.
Yeah, that's where that line is. And when he attacks Logan, he's like, "I'm more human than human. You don't deserve to even be here."
I haven't seen
movie.
the movie, so I need to get on that. I wonder
Great movie. It's all about civilization now lives in a utopia. There's only about, I don't know, I would say maybe 1,500 people at the most. And then they've all got these circles on their hands that change colors based off of your age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you hit, I think it's like 30 or 35 or so, it starts flashing at you, which means this is your last year before you ascend.
Yeah.
You know, they don't quote unquote kill you. You ascend.
Sounds like the Giver a little bit, right?
Kinda. It's a lot of that kind of style for it. The Giver I really liked because of the whole color symbology and everything else in it. Like the whole time you're reading The Giver, you're like, surely there are colors, and then you don't realize why the hair of one of the classmates. The Giver's a phenomenal book. The movie is okay. Jeff Bridges, I think, is in that one. But it is a phenomenal.
Jeff Bridges from White Dudes for Kamala? Kamala?
Really? He was on that one?
Dude, yeah.
That's cool.
One of the dudes. Him. A bunch of people were on that.
So I.J. Good, intelligent explosion model of 1965, an upgradable intelligent agent, could eventually enter a positive feedback loop of self-improvement cycles. Each new and more intelligent generation appearing more and more rapidly, causing a rapid increase or explosion, an intelligence explosion, as he does, in intelligence, which would ultimately result in a powerful superintelligence, qualitatively far surpassing all human intelligence. That's what they're afraid of for the singularity. I absolutely understand we should be pumping the brakes. Meta, come on, get your stuff together. Don't just be releasing just to get to consumers as quickly as possible, right? That's why it's why we're doing so many things and having some issues with stuff because, we got to get it directly to consumers. I don't care if there's lead in our gasoline.
Exactly.
We got to get it directly to consumers. I don't care if there are forever chemicals in this.
It's the Ricky Bobby argument. If you're not first, you're last.
Not first, you're last.
First, you're last.
It doesn't matter if you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll fix that in post. Fix it later.
Exactly. You're listening to Out to Lunch. We're going to continue this hour all the way to the top.
Come on,
when we come back. Get it together, Meta.
Zuckerberger.
We don't want to get too meta in here, but you're listening to WRMN. Soon, Matt McNeil will be taking over the Out to Lunch. So if you missed Matt in the mornings, if you missed middays with Matt, ooh boy.
All the alliterative possibilities of Matt McNeil in the morning, midday.
Tradio, all kinds of good things. I can't wait. Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun. You're listening again to Out to Lunch, WRMN 1410, Voice of the Valley, and, of course, the talk of the town. We'll be right back after these.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Keep informed with everything that's going on with the Radio Shopping Show by joining our VIP text club today. All you have to do is text the message WRMN 1410 to the number 94253 and you're in. You'll receive timely information about shopping show specials instantaneously as they happen. Message and data rates may apply. The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show, we are WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Taqueria Las Cumbres, Crystal Lake's authentic Mexican restaurant on Grant Street, is open for carryout. For over 15 years, Taqueria Las Cumbres has been serving up all of your favorite Mexican dishes and doing it better than the rest. Recently voted the best in McHenry County. Stop in and carry out the authentic taste of Mexico and see for yourself. Support local for lunch and dinner today and place an order from Taqueria Las Cumbres. Call 815-455-8200 for Taqueria Las Cumbres of downtown Crystal Lake.
Oakcrest Residence is marking 120 years of continuous service for older adults. A private, non-for-profit community organization offering cutting-edge solutions for seniors with emphasis on personal choice and innovative programs. Located at 204 South State Street, you'll find short-term and permanent living along with daily options. This building is worth a visit. Blended with style and surrounded with historic significance. Make sure to ask to see the Cellar Pub, a resource available for private group rental. Really, this place has it all. During this 120th anniversary celebration year, the community is invited to join in for free lunches and programs. For more information, visit oakcrestatrium.org. That's oakcrestatrium.org. Welcome to Out to Lunch. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I'm sitting here across the table with Ben Demonium Boquest. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Yes. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Thursday. Hey, if you missed it, Kane County Speaks happens on Thursdays. If you missed that, that's already on the YouTube side of the world. You can watch it live from there. Ben, this afternoon, is going to cut it up for its own special episode. But you could look at it right there. It's another one of the community shows that we've got here on the station. That is the 9 to 10 hour that I really like, because it's got Sherry Ashenbrenner in there every once in a while. We've got Kane County Speaks. Steve Thoren comes in as well. It's amazing community hour. I love it.
It's the great thing. Why I love my job so much and the way that we've gone is that we're just community based, and it's the way to do it. It's like, it'll never not be valuable to have people in your community talk about what's going on in your community. So I love to be a part of it.
We are going to have almost 12 solid hours, Monday through Friday, on a station. This is it right here. Somebody in studio with that.
You mean just talking about stuff going on in the Fox River Valley?
Yeah, you think about all of the other radio stations that are out there. It takes an entirely large staff to put together things like that.
Yeah.
Here on the community side of it, because you and I have done it for so often, we know how to streamline that process of making a show.
Yeah.
So because we have that strength, we decided here at the station to just flood with local programming. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Best way to do it.
Agreed.
I hope we are trendsetters. Beginning Monday, August 12th, we welcome Tammy Scully. Can I be Fox Mulder?
Yeah.
If she can be Scully, can I be Mulder?
Cool. I did not.
I think it'd be cool.
I'm just seeing that.
Back to the airwaves as a lead host for the 2 to 4 p.m. time slot, Monday through Friday. Tammy is intelligent, knowledgeable, and has a good sense of humor. She sure does. Just talked with her yesterday. And she will also give us a female voice and perspective that we so desperately need to take the next step in programming. She has never truly had a chance to demonstrate her full talents at WRMN because in the past she has been relegated to hosting the radio shopping show, which even then when she was doing it at that point was intelligent and still humorous. Adding Tammy to our daily lineup allows us the opportunity to put together this amazing lineup. Are you ready to go? First shift, as always, Marky B, Larry Jones, Jakes, and the first shift staff lead the way into your day with the latest local news, entertainment, discussions, and fun. Followed by this show right here, Out to Lunch, 10 to 1 p.m. Matt McNeil moves back to middays, where he provides a comfortable lunch menu of news, interviews, community events, and of course, the legendary WRMN Tradio Show. I hope you ladies are enjoying the weather. Thanks for walking by. Democracy Now! Comes in at 1 p.m. now. Catch up on the latest national and world news each day. Amy Goodman, except on days when WRMN has some other local programming. Ooh, cryptic. Fox Valley Afternoons then kicks off with, of course, Tammy and Friends, the talking about lifestyle. While Sonar comes in with a political talk show, which includes news, talk, and politics between 4 to 6. Fox Valley Afternoons will also feature interviews with the movers and shakers of the Fox River Valley, along with specific daily and weekly features that you will enjoy. Tammy's got a couple of them that she wants to bring in for a Ask the Doc. There's another one of mixologists coming in and talking about what they're talking about on the bars and things like that. I know today we've got the Distant Socials drink of the day. You and I on Apolitical Talk Show, we get to bring back the blind side. We get to bring back the hat trick. Mm-hmm. We get to bring back all of our fun, newsy games.
Yes.
Which I think is going to be fun. One of the bits that Ben and I do is called the Blind Spot. And with that, it is 2 articles that are kind of similar to what they're talking about, but it is slightly off enough that nobody on the left is reporting one of them, and nobody on the right is reporting the other side. Mm-hmm. So if you are a person that likes to stay in the middle, or if you are a person that loves I hate to call it your echo chamber, I got my own flavor of shows too, right?
Sure, yeah.
I like sci-fi over Westerns, right? Mm-hmm. That's just right. What you got.
I have a new one. It would be either apolitical or annoying. Is this person just being apolitical to keep it calm, or are they just being annoying?
It's true. And that's the biggest thing with it too, is that I'm not going to tell you I'm not biased. I am. I'm a person. Yeah. I enjoy comfortable shoes. I am biased for comfortable shoes. You know what I mean? I'm a person. I like things. So I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to be biased. What I will tell you is that I will strive to not allow my biases to get in the way of what we need to deliver to you, which is the information and good faith discussions. I'm not saying faith is in spiritual faith. I'm saying come to the table in a debate in the way that we are here to accomplish something other than just beating each other up in a debate. What are we going to accomplish and how are we going to move? So I look forward to the new programming schedule, Benjamin.
Yes.
I absolutely look forward to it. I cannot wait.
Bringing it back, apolitical style, always looking forward to that content and being a part of that show. So thank you so much for allowing me to spread my my political wings.
And I think having Fox Valley Afternoons, with everything that we've got, with the lifestyle and news and what's trending on Tammy's side, and then we come in with Apolitical Talk Show. What Ben and I plan on doing for Apolitical Talk Show is we plan on opening the entire second hour. 5 to 6 is 100% calls. Bring it in. Let's talk what's going on. I've got a couple people that I'm going to try to bring in as far as News Nation-wise, and a couple of the other Illinois lobbyists that I know here and there. I've got some other political commentators that I work with here just in the area that I look forward to bringing over. In fact, starting off with the new show, this is how great Mark is as a program director and producer. He comes in right here, right off the bat, for Tuesday, 8/13, Tuesday the 13th. Gary Wrmn, Republican gubernatorial candidate in 2022, and Kane County GOP chairman Andrew Laurario will join us on the show, Benjamin. Woo! Right there, already talking about the upcoming weekend rally for Donald Trump. That's at least, let's see here. No, 2 weeks away. And so they're going to talk about that. Wrmn actually ran against J.B. Pritzker in the last election.
I remember those signs, yeah.
Darren Bailey emerged as the winner in the primary, so that's where Wrmn didn't make it. Before Bailey lost to Pritzker. Wrmn owns Wrmn Paving, a multi-million-dollar paving company. So we'll talk a little bit about business.
Got to pave.
We'll talk a little bit about the Kane County GOP and them putting on this rally for Trump. I think it's going to be phenomenal discussions for everything. And just like I was talking to Mark, I'm not here to beat you up on what you believe. I'm not here to beat you up on what you like to do. Look, if you like Westerns and I like sci-fi, let's talk about stuff. Sure. You ever hear of a movie called Cowboys and Aliens? Boom, we're already coming together.
Yeah.
So that's where I really like about what we plan on doing for Apolitical Talk Show. We did it before in WCGO. We did it in a highly, highly blue area in Evanston. And even then, we got some flack on either side, but we tried to bring in everybody part of that.
Right.
So,
and yeah, it's like, were you in America between the years of 2016 and 2020? You may remember this administration, and we were all, life went on.
It did. So that's what we're doing over here. And this was such great news, him coming in with this. I can't wait to talk with candidate Gary Wrmn. See if they're going to run again.
Sure.
That would be cool. Andrew comes in every once in a while here, but I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and talk with him with anything. So it's phenomenal that we've got some people coming in with this right off the bat. That's the second day of
the Triple Berry Cafe of Crystal Lake offers incredible breakfast and lunch options for you, and now the coffee bar is open for you to enjoy. Stop in and enjoy a relaxing cup of coffee